lovely to see you. I always remember you as a player with a smile on your face, and you've still got that cheeky bit now.
Yeah. It was never a job for me. All my life I wanted to be a footballer, and when Barnsley footballer could offer me that opportunity of doing it, it was just something that I used to get paid for doing. But it was a magnificent club to come and join at the time I did, because that year we joined, they got promoted, and then that was my first year involved in anything like that, and it was fantastic.
So you went on, you went about a bit, we'll come to that later, but your actual Barnsley career was only 24 games, but you scored 12 goals. That's some record.
12, I thought it was more than I've been looking for as well, Phil. I thought it was more than 12. I think in that one season I got 13 in 18 games.
I'm talking league.
Oh yeah, I can't believe you're not talking about the Liverpool one and this then.
Oh no, we'll come to that later.
Okay, alright.
We'll come to that later.
Okay, you're right, 12.
But anyway, it's still a pit-mean record. But most Barnsley fans, certainly of a certain age, like me, Al, and yourself, will remember you as the bin man. Yeah. What's the story behind that?
Well, when I was trying to become an apprentice footballer at school, you went, and all clubs, I never came to Barnsley at that time, but I went to Manchester United, I went to Leeds United, I went to Liverpool, tried to become an apprentice footballer, and that didn't materialise. And then I was in a bit of a quandary of what to do. So I went to school, I tried to get better qualifications, didn't like school, so I then went into work. You couldn't be a bin man until you were 18. I had family that were on that, and friends are on it, and it was a fantastic opportunity to keep fit while hopefully trying to become a footballer, because that was always being
waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah, and you should, it's not like it is now where you push it to the back of the van and it goes up itself. You had to lift them, put them on your shoulder, put them in the back of the van.
Galvanised steel.
Yeah, it was absolutely a great environment, but also it kept me fit for a good 2 years, because I always thought football was going to be my end game.
Again, we'll talk a bit more about your Barnsley career and subsequent career in football later, but coming on to the coaching side, you've been into that for probably 30 years plus now. You must love the game.
I do. I have. It was Barnsley Football Club again. I applied for the football and the community job. I mean, look at what we're doing today, and we've just been talking off air about having a quarter cabin. I applied for that job. Was interviewed in Marks and Spencer's in a cafe in Rotherham for that job. Was given that job, followed David Wilkes while Mel Matin was manager. And luckily during that time the PFA paid for your qualifications, so I just did it because you had to have them qualifications to be a football and community officer. Eric McStanley was a fantastic youth coach. He was. He won the league 3 times on the spin. Viv became manager, Danny was his assistant, and they promoted Eric to youth team coach, to first team coach. I got a bang on the door and asked, would I fancy being the youth team coach? I'd never thought about it before. I went for an interview with Viv and Danny. Viv was watching Coronation Street on TV with his feet on the table, as you can imagine, and Danny was asking all the questions. I think I was in there 15 minutes, and they said, you start on Monday.
Fair enough.
And that's how I got into the coaching, and then I have a real football again. It's been my life. It's something I do, I love, I enjoy it. I'm still doing it now at 61. So that's how I got started.
And you worked for a fair few clubs in your time. Barnsley, Leeds, I think at one time.
I had a year at Leeds, yeah.
Doncaster Rovers, York City, who you managed.
Well, I got offered the chance of being a manager. Never ever thought I'd be one of them. Wish I hadn't. But I had a year at that, and again I had Eric as my assistant then. Right. But no, I've been very fortunate to be in the game for as long as I have been.
and Notts County ladies as well for a while.
Yeah, well, I think it's quite...
That's good these days, because the women's game is coming on so well, isn't it?
It is, and some of the players that are involved at the moment, I still keep in touch with, and it's really nice to see them getting well rewarded. Hopefully they'll do well in the competition.
And as you say, you're still in the game now at Grimsby Town.
I am.
The academy there, I think.
I am head of coaching. It's not more of, it's more of watching people coach and trying to improve the coaches at the club. The only coach that doesn't come under me is the manager himself. The assistant manager, who's the under 23 coach, he's under my wing as well. So I have 21 staff. And I love it. I'm not sure I enjoy the drive there and back every day, but I really enjoy the job.
It's no price to pay, I'm sure.
Oh no, it's, I love being involved in football.
Well, you can see that. It's all over your face, Colin. Anyway, Alan's going to ask you a bit more about your time here at Oakwell.
Hi Colin.
Hi.
Chris Minger. What was it like to come out at Anfield in January 1982 and play against that great side in the fog?
I think the story before it happens is because I've never been anywhere near the first team leading up to that game. And we went and did a training session at, I did tell you, Dorothy Iman's team, and they were playing the first team against the reserves. This was a Saturday morning because there was no game that Saturday before the Tuesday. And he picked the team to play, and I'm in there. And I'm thinking, well, somebody must be injured or they haven't got enough numbers. So I play in that game, we all toddle off, we have Sunday, and then we come into Monday. And we're doing the set pieces, and I'm involved in that as well. And then I'm thinking, well, I might be playing now. And I'm not telling anybody at home, because I'm thinking it can't happen. Then obviously, he announced the team, I'm involved in the game. And I think he did that deliberately, not to put any pressure on, because as a full debut, to go out in front of however many there was there, could be a bit daunting. But I must say, Alan, that I remember every minute of the game. I really enjoyed the game. There was no pressure on me. We've been talking about Jerry Weaver, he always tells me that I should have scored. I can't remember that one, but the game was fantastic. I'll never ever forget it.
Well, sadly we were on motorway trying to get to Anfield on that night. I remember getting there 5 minutes before, getting straight to the railings, it was fenced and going up there. And what we like on pitch, because all I remember is out singing Liverpool fans singing You'll Never Walk Alone. The atmosphere was just amazing.
Well, I mean, it's not very good, but let's see, outside I am, you can still watch it on YouTube and it's foggy. We gave them a right game. I don't think they expected the game that they got. And we got a lesson here, but I don't think they got the expected, because we went for them. We created as many chances as they did, and thoroughly deserved the draw.
And I don't think we've been beaten at Anfield.
No.
Do you remember your first goal you scored for us?
I do. Here, this end, where we are now, from about 2.5 inches. I think Banger took the corner. Ian Evans and Trevor were involved somewhere, and they had a shot, the goalkeeper made a save. And I thankfully sprinted, and people watching this will really laugh when they hear me talking about sprinting, but I got there from about 2.5 inches and scored. Fantastic feeling.
And that was against Liverpool in the replay, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
Who was the best player you've played with at Barnsley in your time with us, and who's the best player you played against, Colin?
For Barnsley?
Yeah.
Against a guy called, tell me my name, Luton Town Centre half, Northern Ireland International. Away, it was a lesson that I had, and I still check that lesson, because he taught me through the whole game. You're not going to get kicked. I'm left side call, and he used to call me Cole. Left side, I'm here, Cole, I'm here, and he taught me through the game. It was fabulous. Playing with is difficult, because we talked about Macca. Ian Banks had so much ability, but I think I'm going to have to say King Ronnie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he knew what he was going to do, and certainly players playing with him didn't know what he was going to do. But he had so much ability, scoring goals from midfield, popped up everywhere, and his eye for goal was terrific. So I'd have to say, Ronnie. I'm gonna also talk about Alan Birch, because in the time them games that I played, Birchie played on the right
He was the
wing.
provider.
And we sort of got on really, really well off the pitch and on it. So Birchie was a good player as well.
Thank you very much. I'll put you to Matt now.
Hi Colin,
Hi.
you alright?
Yes, thanks.
What a lot of people don't know is that you spent quite a few years in New Zealand, and you played 34 games internationally and you scored 18 goals. How did that come about?
Well, my time here, 76, 77, I was here with Mick McCarthy's youth team, and Jim Irie was the manager, and he offered me a pro contract, and I came to sign that pro contract in the snow. He decided not to turn up that day because it was too bad from where he lived. To cut a very long story short, I ended up breaking a leg not playing for Barnsley Football Club, so the contract was gone. I went back to being a dustbin man, and one day somebody knocked on my door. My mum answered the door. Colin, have you applied to go to New Zealand? I went, no. So there's a guy at the front door saying that he'd like to take to New Zealand. Brought him in, and his name's Kevin Fallon. Now he's actually from Barnsley, where I'm from, but he was in charge of a team called Gisborne City, and he asked me whether I fancied 9 months out in New Zealand, and I snapped his hands off. So I played them 1 year in 1980. I came back here, and I came here to train, and Bobby Collins was in charge of the reserves. So that's how I got here, because Bobby let me play 4 weeks to keep me fitness up for the Gisborne, going back for Gisborne. And after 4 games in the reserve, Norman Hunter asked me if I'd sign pro. So going back to Gisborne then wasn't an option. When things started to go wrong in football here, the opportunity to go back to Gisborne, I'd got married to Karen at the time, and we both decided to pack our jobs in and emigrate. She didn't like it. She was homesick and wanted to come back. I love the football. I gave my passport to somebody after 18 months of being there, and the passport came back stamped as a Kiwi. Don't know how that happened, but there you go. And then my very first game was against Glasgow Rangers, and then we came on a 6-week tour back over here, where we played against England B team, and then I became naturalised and played World Cup qualifying games and played Olympic qualifying games as well.
Very good. You also managed in New Zealand as well.
I did.
Yeah.
Same team.
Yeah.
That didn't go very well. I listened to them, didn't realise the club was going in decline, and I jumped ship thinking that everything was going to be great, and after 4 months, lack of payments, blah blah blah. So I came back home, and that was my first taste of management, which didn't go down very well, but it was a big lesson for me.
Yeah. And last question, you've worked a lot with young players. What advice would you give to young players today?
Be two-footed. I watched one of yours with probably the best two-footed player I'd ever worked with and seen, that was Neil Redfern. Being two-footed helps, and having more than one string to your bow. You know, these days now, you can't just be a centre forward, centre half. You're not a midfield player, you're either a defending midfield player or an attacking one. You're not a full-back anymore, you're a winger. I think you've got to have more than one string to your bow.
Brilliant, thank you.
Colin, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. You've been obviously in the game for 40 years plus now. You're still in it. You obviously love it. You loved your time here. Do you still follow the Reds?
If I look at the weekend at results, I have to look how Grimsby Town got on, because they've paid the wages. Yeah. And then the next club's hometown, and then obviously Barnsley. Really chuffed that somebody that I'd worked with, like Dale Tom, is back involved.
Yeah.
Said he was one of my apprentices who was a physio, so there's still a connection here.
Because Dale was at Rotherham as well, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
Doc Hartman's involved with the youth team as well.
Yeah.
So no, I always follow Barnsley Football Club as been, I think I worked it out yesterday, at least 30 years of my life. So you have to keep in touch.
Of course you do. Colin, it's been a pleasure. Thanks ever so much.